unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln. Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies to start, then a chance of snow this afternoon. We'll see a high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow early, then mainly clear skies. We'll see a low of around 11. And tomorrow, probably sunny skies to start, then snow likely in the afternoon. Will be windy too. We'll see a high of around 17. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy hump day. There's never a slow day here at The Ticket, let alone in sports. It's always the soap opera of life. This is old school. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat and every type of cut. There's a lot going on. Obviously, we started the day off with the partnerships with the Supernovas. I have another announcement, I think, tomorrow, and then another one later in the week. But without that being said, obviously, Nebraska had a great victory against the number 1 ranked Purdue, the first time since, I think, 1982. Fred Hoiberg's grandfather was a coach then. And then, without further ado, we got a little bit of sleet and snow coming down, so things are changing, right? Weatherman is sitting at home with his chest puffed out, just like the College Football Playoff Committee, as Michigan and the number 1, number 2 team just finished off a couple days ago. But the breaking news, which is going to take over every airwave. And it's kind of funny because Stephen A. Smith was about to go in on Jason Whitlock, and it was about to be must-see TV. I'm sure that he might just maybe pause that till tomorrow. He's going to still do it because him and Nick Saban are friends. But without that further ado, Nick Saban, the GOAT, definitely going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, has decided to retire, which has seemed out of nowhere. You just made the college football playoff, re-upped and had another great recruiting class come in, good transfer portal class, so forth and so on. And a couple days later, after Jim Harbaugh wins his first national title, he decides to ride off into the sunset to be at his lake house in, I think it's in Georgia or Alabama, or he's got a few of them, but the main one where he likes to go with Miss Terry. He's going to decide to retire. I don't think it's anything health related. I definitely don't think it's anything recruiting related or NIL or anything like that. He definitely has shown that he can navigate in this space of college football. I just think, maybe he felt it was time, and he's done enough. And I'm sure, I think with him, Nick Saban, that this decision doesn't come at the spur of the moment. And I don't think it affected how he ever coached, but I think it's just something that, maybe he had a, long conversation with his family and said, listen, I know he's not old, but he's a little bit older. And he's like, he probably wants to kick it. He's excellent on TV. This is Nick Saban. He still will be around. You will see him on draft day on all the networks or wherever he chooses to be. He is phenomenal on TV. He is phenomenal in front of the mic and on camera. And I think he has a path to actually grow his legacy after coaching. And I think the best thing a coach can do, and a player, and more or less a coach, because the players never get to choose, a coach can walk away and grow his legacy and have a clean slate and not try to, kind of like Urban Meyer, move into pros knowing it wouldn't work, and that kind of tainted your last, impression. Whereas Nick Saban is going to move into a place on TV when he chooses to, and it will be sporadic, to where he'll be pretty successful.
I don't know. I there's a high level of resistance to this conversation. So much of what Nick Saban does for college sports and has done for college football, if he decides to do this, let him. Like, I want there to be some space.
Well, he's already done it.
Well, what have we heard from Nick Saban himself?
Oh, but he's not a big guy like that anyway. So they're not going to report it that he's retiring.
What have we heard from Alabama?
You don't got to hear anything from Alabama. You heard it from the people that they're associated with him. He's on an ESPN show. He's probably done.
What have the people from the show said?
Well, the employers that reported ESPN, he's retiring.
Have they? Is he more involved in the show?
Did the show you could if you go back and think of it, he's on a weekly show on what's his face show on ESPN.
Powell.
Yeah, right. Well, that, and he's on the former Colts punter.
Oh, McAfee. Yeah,
he's a weekly. So that is out of the box, out of the norm for Nick Saban. A weekly show, or weekly segment. So that right there lets you know it's not the normal behavior of him, because he's very, locked up. But look, man. If you haven't seen him on draft day, if you haven't seen Nick Saban on the mic breaking down games, the times that that they hadn't made the college football playoffs, just freshly after losing a close game, against Georgia or whatever it was. If you haven't seen him and not say like that dude is good, then your head's been in this, in the sand. Now I don't think he'll just go right into like full time, but he'll definitely. The draft is right around the corner.
So what do you think it means for Nick Saban? What do you think you in your mind? Is he done coaching? Is he just done in Alabama?
He's done coaching.
Is he? So he's done coaching. Then do you think he goes in? Is he going TV? Is he
going home? He's already in TV now.
Like all the way. Like we
I don't think he.
We had this discussion about
Urban
Meyer. We had this discussion about Urban Meyer, and everybody went ring around the rosies, and then he ends up doing television, back to coaching, back to television.
They're two different people, though.
Well, but I'm just pointing out that our most recent
they're not. But
experience,
those guys aren't even close. Urban Meyer, when he left Ohio State, he got somewhat pushed out based on the assistant coach and all that stuff, right? You'd never believe that he was done coaching. He's just younger. He has more energy. If Notre Dame was open, he'd definitely be there. It's just that it was just a situation that worked, that he had to, forcibly, and then he had a good, thought of a replacement in Ryan Day, where Nick Saban, Tommy Rees ain't taking over. So at the end of the day, Nick Saban is done coaching. He is phenomenal on TV. He has a career to take him on to bigger and better things, as far as like his his brand and all that stuff. He's on a ton of commercials. He's sellable. He's not leaving with like a scandal or anything like that. So I mean, it's natural. Look, it's natural for him.
I'm for whatever he decides because he's earned it. He's earned it.
It's natural for him. He's not. Urban Meyer is a job hopper junkie coach. He needs to be coaching, but he happens to be great on TV right now.
Okay,
he needs to be coaching. Nick Saban doesn't have to coach because Nick Saban's already done it. It's already out and he's older. Urban Meyer still has the itch to coach because he has to right the wrong. The problem with Urban Meyer, the coach that was at Bowling Green, at Utah, and at Florida, and at Ohio State, is a totally different dude. Nick Saban ain't changed.
So think of the mental dance that has to happen. Went through this with John Gruden. Went through it with Joe Gibbs. Went through it, like I can rattle off a lot of coaches that we gave flowers to. We went through all the sorts of emotions. We went through all sorts of machinations over what it meant. And the reality was, in most cases, it wasn't what we thought, and it didn't happen the way that we thought it was going to help. That doesn't mean that Saban doesn't just walk right off into the sunset.
I
don't know what he's going to do.
He's not going to just not be on TV. He has too much to offer. He's done a lot more for coaching in college football than Urban and all those guys have done. He's been in the forefront of a ton of issues. He's been in the forefront of NIL and helping the players be compensated in some form or fashion.
Is he a commissioner type?
That would be great for him. He would be great because he's been on both sides and he has some sort of like fair mindset where he's not too far on one side, and he'd be great, and he would garner the respect of all the other coaches, athletic directors, and presidents. But I think right now he's going to keep doing what he's doing with it. Like his offseason is going to be really, really good. Now I will say, like, coaches always are going to get that itch because it's just like a player. You have a time clock, but I think he will be able to fill that itch with different ways to be competitive. I am surprised he retired this year. I mean, if they would have won it, that'd be, definitely, right off in the sunset. I would just think that he wanted to come back one more time.
Well, I mean, and that's a big part of it, right? To hear from, there are a couple of recruits and their parents who had something to say. What do you mean you're going to retire? Like we could have gone other places for other deals, but you came to the crib and shook hands and looked us in the eye and told us you were a man of your word and to choose Alabama over everything else based on your handshake and your word, and now you're out. But on the other side, to have coaches say there are things that Nick Saban can help with, and that if college football is going to head into this new version, that you need somebody from inside the game that has unilateral authority and respect. Somebody that every athletic director, every coach, every booster will have some understanding for what Nick Saban says about the college football game at the highest level and to set it in place. So I don't know what happens. I'm just
it could be an option, but that's way down the road, because they don't even have their ducks in a row. If there's a committee, is not just going to be him who would be a part of it. I mean, that's, unless it's in the works right now, I don't foresee it happening within the next year or two. When coaches retire, I mean, look, I was here when Coach Osborne retired. I mean, there's recruits that came that he recruited all the way up. I mean, nobody knew it. At least I didn't. Had no idea. And I was on the team and a prominent player at that time. So, when you come to that decision and finally take that step of retiring is different than thinking about it. And for him to take that step, every year with the coach with that age, and that type of iconic status, you're on a year-to-year basis with him. Now, I was fortunate enough to go from one iconic coach to another, and Frank Solich, who's going into College Football Hall of Fame. I don't foresee anybody on that staff being like that.
Okay.
It was interesting that Kevin Steele chose to retire. They were obviously very close. They've worked together, it seems like 85 different times, separate times. And then maybe that was just Jim Harbaugh was like, or not Jim Harbaugh, but Nick Saban was like, you know what? I've done enough. Let's see if I can do something else. And maybe he wants some time alone, or not time alone, but just
time to be Nick Saban rather than Coach Saban and deal with all the stuff you have to deal with.
And it's not even a negative thing. It's just like,
hey, I'm not
I can see him still being involved at the University of Alabama. I'm sure he's not going to leave him cold turkey.
Like the Coach K kind of role?
Yeah, and he'd still be involved, but not be intrusive.
I mean, it's John Thompson. Like it's kind of
that's what you do.
That thing exists, and it always has.
There's a standard of a coach that's got to come next.
Barry Alvarez. Like we can go up and down the folks.
It can't be
around it.
You can't hire Mike Price again.
Right. So through all of that, my let me re-say what I was going to say. That I've been in this game a long time, and when it comes to coaches stepping down, I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I hate to say I'm numb to it, indifferent, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if the perfect opportunity,
right?
Look, I mean, there's always. It's like everybody has a price. If the perfect opportunity comes along, and whether it's money or a place that you always want to coach, there's always an exception to the rule. You're not going to get much bigger than Alabama. Urban Meyer going from TV without the college coaches or places of choice, and then next to see if I can do it in the pros with a boatload of money and power. That fits his script. John Gruden going back to ESPN 4 or 5 different times to get a pay raise. They said, listen, you're staying at $10 million and we're not going up. Well, then here comes the Raiders with full runway of power and money.
Right.
So then he does it because it was 10 years, $100 million or whatever it was. Right. So then he has to do. So then, all right, I got to do it. I think I don't know what other place he'd like to do or go that would be that appealing to him to reverse and do it at his age. Yeah. John Gruden and Urban Meyer are significantly younger. And, with him, I think Nick Saban will probably move into some sort of, admin role. And he's great on TV like a lot of other coaches, I could see Alabama kicking the tires on somebody like David Shaw or somebody like that.
Yeah, again, for all of it, and Alabama in such a unique place, it'll mean some changes. And the SEC will have to stand up and take note.
They are in trouble now.
To whatever the next step
They are in trouble.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, 2 Big Ten teams were in the championship.
Okay.
The guy that, listen, whether you want to talk about Kirby Smart and, Brian Kelly, he wasn't even there at LSU when they won it, right? Ed Orgeron. And yes, Lane's there. But Nick Saban was the guy that gave that. He was the figurehead, right?
Yeah.
He's gone. So Kirby's that, but he's not Nick Saban yet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why they're in trouble. So for them to be so brash and say, you know what, we don't want to really add any teams, or we're only going to add Oklahoma, and we're not going to even be open to Florida. We don't want Florida State and Miami right now, right? You want to know why you can do that? Because of what you had in Alabama and Tuscaloosa. Because at the end of it,
are they in trouble now?
I don't think Bama's that. They might go down there. They might dip Bama, a little bit. They ain't gonna go to the depths of hell.
Like they'll lose 2 games, 3 games.
Nick Saban from his cabin in Georgia will not let that happen.
Right.
They aren't going to the depths of. But the conference, like, okay, just think about it right now. Nick Saban gone in that conference. They have lost the respect and the power and bandwidth that they've had.
So it's Kirby.
Yeah, it's Kirby.
And then
who?
Sark,
Lanning.
Really?
Sark?
Sark was. I mean,
I'm asking because
not to take anything from Sark. We'll go a little bit longer here, right? He was Sark. If he didn't have it, he was on the hot seat. He was like. Let me tell you something.
I don't understand
if Sark
Carroll.
If Sark didn't make the college football playoffs, he was on the hot seat.
Harbaugh?
No, we're talking about the SEC.
No. Who? Yeah, Austin's just stirring up.
No, Pete Carroll's done.
You think he's done? Because that's, to me, that's a different conversation that we need to have. In that,
I mean, you talking about coaching news? We talking about this has been Black Week.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't even know. First of all, I don't understand why you associate anything negative with black. But we'll get it's a Black Monday. It's been extended. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, more coming Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, it's just. Can I? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I'm saying. I'm just coach fatigue. Like I am coach fatigue this week.
No, I like it. I like it. I hate it because I respect Nick Saban, what he's done.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, and people are listening, the pool of real coaches, and I'm talking about a dude that's coaching outside of the football field, right?
Yeah.
That means if you make a mistake, I'm there. If you do something great, I'm there. The story about Bill Parcells, and he was saying that he had a couple guys that, blood, sweat, and tears and needed, were in financial trouble. He's like, man, I made millions off of these guys. If they need some money, I don't even ask for it back. That's a coach. And it's not just about money. That's a coach. Yeah. The pool of real coaches 10 years ago, 20 years ago, DP, was this wide. Now it is like here. But you know what? A lot of the guys that are outside of this realm right here getting compensated like they're, in there. So that's why it's such a big loss. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break, come back.
They wearing me out, man.
We'll do a quick we're going to do a quick segment on Pete Carroll, then get to a quick segment at the bottom hour. I mean, it's going to take the whole 5 o'clock hour because that's who Nick Saban is. I mean,
Pete Carroll, man, he out here, he gonna wreck a car trying to get attention today. Like, this is my day. What you doing, Nick?
Listen, if you send me off
never forget Saban taking over for Carroll at Ohio State.
Right, like so much,
man. Saban at Ohio State,
defensive backs coach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that was back when they were just wet behind the ears though. So yeah, it's an interesting day in the coaching realm. You just never know what can happen. I'm sure the pressure down there in Dallas is just amped up on Mike McCarthy. Because I'm telling you, do not think Jerry Jones will not go down there and say, listen, I got to give you $20 million for 2 years? I only got 2 more years left. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures. All things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Copple. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Copple. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at copplecars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer or you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their two new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Went a little bit long. Happy hump day. Happy snow day. It's
what?
What am I mean? Look, man. You start. The thing about doing radio, you start with somewhat of a plan, and there. I knew there were going to be a lot of firings this year. I always thought there was going to be, in the NFL, there'd be a couple. Pete Carroll was one we talked about, but. There is right here. I just got word that Nick Saban did inform his team he is retiring. So welcome back to school. I'm out. But
parents, my bad.
Hey man,
Thanks for the meatloaf.
Yeah. Thanks. And hey, listen, he didn't have to do it. He's in there. What
he did an electric slide with
yeah. But we'll get back on track here. We got about 2 minutes. We'll just dive into a little bit of the NFL stuff. I think there's two big moves today in the NFL coaching. And I always say when you decide to keep a coach, you rehire him. Meaning, because obviously we're on the verge of firing
best option available.
I don't know what the Bears are thinking.
What?
You with 10 and 34. I have no idea what you're thinking. But obviously, Eberhus, who's a great defensive coordinator, and I think he ultimately is a good coach. I don't know why he. I think a defensive coach should always hire an offensive coach that you fear. Oh, he's done well against me. I like what he's doing. The dude that he hired was garbage, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he went in there and said, "Listen, I want my job. I think I can coach this team." Whether it's financial situation, they didn't want to hire a new coach because the GM is on the hot seat. So let's go down together. We'll jump off this Titanic together and see if there's a life vest. next year, and you got a bunch of draft choices. So you fired the whole offensive staff, including the wide receiver coach that didn't have a good receiver until this year. Poor guy.
Well, you had to fire him because if you that tells me you're drafting a wide receiver first.
Well, it depends on what you do with your quarterback, but yes, you are
right. Like
these are conversations that you probably run into Marvin Harrison Sr. at the donut shop. Hey man, hey, just keep looking forward. But just say if we drafted your son, what do we have to do to make you happy so we make sure he signs right away? And he probably says, you know what? I want a new offensive coordinator. Okay. And I want two glazed donuts, a new wide receiver coach, and your head coach probably needs to win 6 or 7 games, or I got a guy for you.
And you have to bow down every time you enter my new office for me beating you in the 2006 Super Bowl.
Right. So that's big that they kept him. But I think the bigger news was Pete Carroll, I guess, mutually parting ways, different than Mike Vrabel, because they tried to trade Mike Vrabel. Vrabel went in there and said, you can go fly a kite. Pete Carroll seemed to be okay, at least by his press conference, and he's going to go up into a senior administrator.
Air quotes.
An administrator. I mean, essentially finding a way to have him in the building, which he had a renaissance last year with Geno Smith, 2 years ago, and didn't make the playoffs this year. So it's kind of like, okay, we'll give you one more year, see if you still got the juice. And they're trying to start over with Pete Carroll. And I think Pete Carroll is a guy that can transition into that role, will not overstep his boundaries. I think he's a Super Bowl champion, college national champion, regardless of what happened. He's going down to, is a great coach, and he knows that the time has come. 2 big moves in the NFL.
Big day.
Buried because down in Tuscaloosa, Nick Saban says, I'm about to go fishing and go golfing. So
it's a big day.
We're going to go to break, come back. We'll give it over to DP. He's got a big announcement here. And then we'll start the 5 o'clock hour and more Nick Saban stuff. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree And 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Letting your children know you believe in them will go a long way toward making their dreams a reality. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning. Focus on the positives, reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Our public schools want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. 4 o'clock hour coming to a head. A lot going on, a lot to do. We got a couple trivia questions at the top of the hour, or 5 o'clock hour. Or we'll do one here.
Okay, what you got?
Since he's retiring, how many victories has Nick Saban had at the University of Alabama?
There you go.
Not total.
There you go.
At the University of Alabama. First one, you get $15 to Upside Bar and Lounge to use this weekend for Fight Night weekend. They got specials on food, drinks.
You can go watch the NFL playoffs.
NFL playoffs and hospitality.
Right.
If you keep winning every day for the rest of the week, you'll be way ahead. And they got drink specials as well. So
they can only win once every 30 days.
Oh, once every 30 days? You better be winning for your friends. So anyways, that's it. First person on the text line, Austin will let you know. And we will announce you at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. But without further ado, DP, give the recap of what the big news was earlier today.
So in case you were sleeping or you got snowed in.
Or were snowed in, right?
Right, through all of that. The announced partnership between the Omaha Supernovas of the Women's Professional Volleyball Federation, a league that starts January 24th in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the inaugural game. It's a big deal for Nebraska to host this event and to carry it on. But they announced the partnership today with 93.7 The Ticket as its flagship station, which allows us the freedom not only to broadcast the games, but to simulcast the games, and it'll have its full outreach. So whether you're in Omaha, Scottsbluff, West Point, doesn't matter.
All across the state.
All across the state. We will simulcast the radio feed on Allo Channel 961 all over the state. We will make it worldwide on YouTube and on the Ticket app.
There it is.
We're going to partner. We've partnered with the Rural Radio Network to use their tower to distribute throughout the rest of the state and on their 2 stations. And then we will give away tickets starting next week to the original. Listen, the mission in this thing is to carry, and one, it elevates the Supernovas and what they're trying to do. And of course, they'll be the flagship program for the soccer league. I mean, for this volleyball league. And here's the thing about, there's 7 teams in the league. There's 24 games. There'll be 12 games in Omaha, 12 on the road. That means you're visiting Vegas, Grand Rapids, Columbus, Orlando, Atlanta, and who else am I missing? I saw them all.
Isn't there a West Coast one? San Diego?
San Diego's the West Coast one. 6 teams on the road. We'll visit both of them twice. We'll do
Vegas.
Vegas. I thought I got that too. But we'll do that. And then, of course, Coach Renee Saunders, who played a 2-sport athlete here in Nebraska, was the high school athlete of the year.
Yeah.
And I think they've won 9 straight state titles.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Scott, yeah.
Under her leadership. And I'm going to lean heavily on her. Also, some other news to that. So, and one, because we're the flagship station, we get to partner in a whole lot of businesses that want to be involved in pro sports.
Mm-hmm.
So advertising, sales packages, that sort of thing, all of that stuff's available. You can reach out to Nick Sander, Jake Sorensen, or myself. Just hit me up if that's something you want to be a part of. We will have a coaches show, a weekly coaches show. We'll have all sorts of player meet and greets here at the Mill and the Ticket once the season starts and the roster is finalized. Again, we're going on the road with them, so there's going to be a lot in play. And then on top of that, I wanted to go deep in my case study for this thing. So, of course, who do I call? Call a coach. And I called Jalen Reyes from Nebraska. And I said, I need to go to the master's class. And he's actually offered to do a post-game recap for us after every game, to break it down for us, make us smarter. He'll give us some keys to the game, things to look for, that sort of deal. But this is an exceptional move for 937 The Ticket. We're humbled that the Supernovas and a professional volleyball team is choosing 937 Ticket to carry the flag for them and to be their flagship. So it's a big deal. We're thrilled. We're happy. And then Jay and I need to say to this thing, listen, if you do not have plans Friday, if you do not have plans Friday night, there are 2 things that you can do. 1, march yourself over to Pinnacle Bank Arena and just lose your mind at WWE SmackDown. Go.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And if that's not your thing, if that's not your thing,
you can go see the real deal.
But you're a Husker at heart. Get your red pants, red shirt wearing self down to Devaney Center and listen. What you did last night at PBA needs to be repeated in full, out loud, for the number 4 Huskers wrestling team as they take on arch rival and number 2 program in the country, Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm just saying, there are GA tickets available now. They are much cheaper than the WWE. I can tell you that. Friday night's going to be a big night in the city. And we are sending you over. Go to Huskers.com, jump online, get yourself tickets for that as well. So, Jay Foreman, we got a big week coming up. We've got 2 additional announcements coming up that are all super strong. Super strong. Listen, things are happening at the Ticket. We're proud of ourselves, and we're proud of the men's basketball team. Sam Hoiberg, CJ Wilcher, Jeffrey Grace, the folks who come in here on a regular basis, share stories and tell their tale.
Yeah.
They whispered what was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise to them. It was not. CJ came in here Tuesday night at 8:00 and whispered, "We're ready." CJ didn't lie. So he did not lie. Well, toward the break, We'll throw it a break, and then we come back. Jay Foreman, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. We can talk about the Huskers. We can talk about Nick Saban. We can talk about – there's a lot, bro.
Oh, that's Nick Saban. There's a little bit of Husker ties in there.
These Huskers folks are going to get you. You don't talk about that basketball game.
Oh, they'll be all right, though. Anyways, we're going to take a break. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster. Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run. So like speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see him.
It's also. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many
Zip, come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, top of the 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, DP. We are Old School. Coming at you live, 1040 O Street. Had a little snow flurry, but it looked like it cleared up. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese. Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill. And a new location up in Omaha. So they're spreading their bandwidth, just like we are as a station and as a crew. I guess, look, it goes without saying the basketball game last night will go down as a hallmark game, atmosphere, and victory in Nebraska basketball history. Is that safe to say?
What did they do right? What like you're writing the headline to what to what that was last night. What did they do right?
It was a complete game. I said that when they beat Indiana, I felt like, and Fred Hoiberg would know better than me, but I just felt like from me watching basketball, that was the Indiana game was the best game I felt like they played. A complete game. They defended well. They rebounded well. They played situational basketball well. They shot the ball well enough. They hit free throws. And they played at phenomenal pace. They never panicked, and they were able to, again, drop the hammer and extend the lead. That is a chance. That's where you see, in my opinion, the good teams go and really establish themselves. When they have, when the game is close, whether you're up by 4, down by 4, up by whatever number, and you're able to separate yourself or come back if you're down at a deficit, that is a sign of a good team. Then they came in this game and then they amplified it, right? I felt like they got destroyed in the paint and they shot the ball well, right? So that's continuation. Last night was a continuation of what happened in Madison. And I just felt like they were just maybe a little bit off defensively, especially in the middle of the lane, right? I felt like they defended well, but Wisconsin shot well. So give them credit. They're on scholarship too. But last night they defended with a purpose.
Did Rink Mast outplay the defending player of the year, the reigning player of the year?
Oh yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
that. You could legitimately call it a matchup. It wasn't two guys playing the same position. It's literally a matchup, and Mast outplayed.
Well, I think with Rink Mast, what he did, he had a precursor to what he was going to face when he went against Ware. Now, Ware's not Zach Edey, but that length is hard to deal with. I felt like even though Rink Mast only had 8 points against Ware, he was going play for play. He just was missing a couple, but he always answered, especially at the beginning of the game, 1 for 1, right? 2 for 2. So then him going against Zach Edey, who's a little bit slower a foot, really worked out well. And I think that he, obviously, I think either broke even or played well as he did, and it was a matchup. I think if for a clinic to learn how to defend a big man, I think Rick Mass probably put on a coach's clinic on how to do it. Technically sound, stayed out of foul trouble, extremely physical, battled, and really outwilled the defending player of the year. He outwilled him. I mean, he really stepped up. He brought it to him probably like not a lot of people do on a nightly basis from a physicality and mentality standpoint.
He dragged the big. I think offensively, he dragged the big man, and is they drag him to deep water?
Yeah.
No, he dragged him out to the beach. He took the whale and dragged him to the beach. He dragged him to the sand, and he did not. It made Purdue off balance defensively. It made Zach Edey angry that he had to be out there in space. He
definitely was uncomfortable. They took him out to the abyss where it's like if you go deep sea fishing, you go out and you can see the land, Austin. You could not see land where he was at, and he was very young. He was like a fish out of water.
And I think that manifested itself in a few ways. Only 2 blocked shots against a Nebraska team that hasn't been great at finishing at the rim all year. You saw Nebraska get that action where they passed it to one of the big men, just past the elbow, make Edey come up just enough to get that curl cut to the rim for a layup a couple times. My 2 favorite plays of the game, though. First play of the game, Nebraska inverts its normal action. Instead of Rink at the elbow, it's Juwan Gary. They run a play for Rink Mast to hit a 3 kind of coming up from the corner.
Yeah.
Rink has to hit that. He did. It was awesome. And then Bryce Williams, right?
Yeah.
It's a 7-8 point game. Bryce Williams has the ball at the elbow with Edey, backs it out, says, I got this.
Yeah.
Edey looked uncomfortable. He was not allowed to dominate that game.
It's so funny when and I've heard people talk about that game, and everybody has different moments. One, I thought the tone was set when Juwan Gary got on the floor with 45 seconds in the game.
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
he dives and scraps, right? He dives and scraps. 2, Josiah Alec hitting the corner 3.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Just murdered Purdue. It was, and then the run that Casey and Sam Hoiberg went on, the 2-man game, the 2 roomies, just went nuts. The 3, he steals, gets the lay-in. Casey hits another 3. It takes a 2-point game, turns it back to 11. And I'm just sitting there going, wow, this is what they're doing. And then the deep 3 by Casey.
That's what I'm talking about, man. My man said, listen, I'm just going to park my dang Huffy right here.
You don't see me.
I'm parking here like I'm Zach.
You gonna see me.
I think the best thing that they did, you talk about Josiah Alec, who's been struggling from 3 all year. He shot it in rhythm. Obviously, been something that he feels confident he's doing. I like that shot because it was in rhythm, and it was the best looking shot probably from 3 he had all year. I think when you're talking about Casey and specifically Sam Hoiberg, and you think about Gary, the energy that they brought, and it was consistent energy, and it was infectious, is something that they brought and that nobody could, withstand. And so it's one of those things that people did that is something that they can go back on, but also, for Purdue, it led to instant offense for Nebraska. But then also, it when you're playing like that, and if you've ever been in these type of basketball games, it gives you the almost utmost confidence that you can do anything out there on the floor. And then that's what they were able to draw upon when they had to go back. And the game, I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes left. I remember Nebraska was at the free throw line, or Purdue was at the free throw line, and Purdue hit 2 free throws. Nebraska's up by 5. This is even the announcers. Purdue can easily come back. There's a ton of time. Well, Nebraska stepped on the gas. That's the sign of a good team. That's the sign of a good team. We are the better team tonight, and it's also a really good victory because it gives you a really, really good glimpse into when Fred Hoiberg a couple years ago said he had a plan. He presented it. Obviously, it wasn't just talking to say, okay, I'm back. I presented a plan and I'll let you know later. It's a plan that he thought about in time during a present season, that he recognized some of the things they need to get better at. He put that action plan in effect, and then he's continued to build upon. That's what it looks like. So when he says it, when he says it, the actions are backing it up. The players believe in it because he believes in it, like we talked about in the crossover. And some of the plays that you mentioned, there's tons of plays that you can think of. There's tons of them. You can think about when Purdue hit back-to-back threes. Nebraska didn't panic and jack up a 3. The only bad play they had was when K-State shot the air ball and when he was pretty much a heat check and he had it and Fred looked at him. He said, all right, I understand. It's a little bit too much. But unlike years past, that didn't snowball into a avalanche of negative plays. It's like you talk about coaches telling a player, be in the moment, be where your shoes are, be where your cleats are if you play football. That's what they're doing. But they have the confidence because of the change to the coaching staff and the philosophy. Coach Nate and all the assistant coaches bringing in different type of defenses to eliminate if they don't have the inside power. The way that they do their defensive rotations based off their double teams is giving people problems. And they're changing it up game by game. So you're not able to be able to swing the ball effectively like Michigan State last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing and basing their rotations off your weaknesses. Now they got busted up from threes, but it's from guys that normally don't hit that type of to that clip, and they're fine with it.
I'm glad you brought up that Michigan State game because I think there were a lot of Husker fans who got some flashbacks to last year, playing really well at home against a good team that can shoot the lights out. That Michigan State loss, if Nebraska holds on to win that game, that's an NIT team. That's an NIT caliber win. They don't get it.
There were 3 games like that last year that if Nebraska wins any of those seasons straight.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't get it done last year. They did this year. And to your point, Jay, about switching it up game to game, this team is deep. They played 8 guys. I think that's the rotation, but it was different guys at different times. You had Rinko off early. You had the Sam Hoiberg run at the end of the first half, the K-State couple threes, and then CJ Wilcher went ballistic for like 2.5 minutes when the team needed it. You know, it wasn't ISO ball, whose turn is it to go get a bucket. It was, hey, they call a play for this guy. He does his job. Now he's the hot hand. So it was a good job of balancing finding the guy who's hot with working for the right shot.
Yeah, you're an equal opportunist. Everybody knows that when you're practicing, they're just out there, they're getting after it. And that's when you're developing everybody. Everybody's buying into it, and everybody knows they have a role to play. And it might be, I'm off tonight. You got to step up. But even if I'm not hitting, I have to do something different. I have to be a positive, right? In order for me to continue to get minutes, there's other things I can do besides score the basketball.
A 9.11 rebound night.
Yeah.
Bryce.
Yeah.
And 9 assists.
And 9 assists.
And 2 blocks.
Yeah.
And 2 steals.
Just to roll that through. And then to think of it this way. 2 years ago, if we said Sam Hoiberg plays the minutes he plays and makes the plays he had, we get laughed out of any conversation we were having. We get laughed out of it. What he's done, you talk about developing, and you talk to Lenzer from the coaching staff. His ability to communicate what he wants defensively, his verbiage is crisp. He can change defenses with a word. He sets a standard. He's fun to watch on the bench.
Oh,
he's like, oh man.
You're talking about a guy that's coaching, that's into it, and he believes in it, and so they know what they're getting at. So he's playing the game along with it, like along with them, which is great. But I think that's the evolution from last year to this year defensively, is where I felt like they just had maybe a couple different sets of where they rotated. Now you see different ones based on matchups, and I think they're deeper this year. I think the confidence that they got from last year was really true confidence. I think they've gotten better. I think Rink Mass coming back, obviously from the knee injury, I think has helped him. I think people don't understand how sturdy he is inside. I think the combination of Gary and Alec really play well off of him. The spacing has never been better. And then they have different guys that can handle the ball, whether it's Hoiberg, whether it's Jamarcus Lawrence, whether it's Williams, whether it's Rink Mass, where he handled it. He brought it up a few times, and he didn't panic. K-State can. And they get right into their sets, and they run different sets. And I think it's all bleeding off of K-State last offseason, not this offseason, getting better without the ball. And everybody on that team has seen how much better and more of a consistent player that has made K-State. So when everybody else, when they're talking about coming off elbow action, horns action, split screens, curls, or anything like that
and they're extending those based on how they're being defended, right?
But then if you see K-State doing it, he's having a success, then you can copy it and make it. So why do you think, of course, CJ's probably worked on a shot. Why do you think he's getting more consistent open shots or more shots that are more open? He's coming off screens a little bit more crisp. They have better screen setters. Derek Walker was great, but I think they have a plethora of guys that is actually important to him. Josiah Alec does not shy away from setting a screen. That's how you create space. That's how you're able to get second chance points. I think one of my favorite plays, Rick Mass has it. Jawan Gary, I call it secondary cut, went backdoor layup. That's a gut punch with a 7'4" guy in there, extended from the free throw line. He can't affect that shot. 2 points. What is that? That's a run stopper and a lead extender. Those little plays right there are ones that probably won't, be on any highlight tape, but those are the ones that help you win games because in the next possession, Casey hits a step back three. That's a 5-0 run right there, and that's how you extend the lead. So it was a great victory.
It was mentioned last night that in the entire Big Ten, over the last 25 games, that Nebraska has the best record, the highest winning percentage over those 25 games in the entire Big Ten. That you looked at a Purdue team that was now 18 out of its last 25. Nebraska's 19 out of its last 25. They're 19-6. And they said, if you don't understand the change in the culture and the change in the level of play and the standard, you now have enough resume. You have enough resume to say the program has evolved. The program has changed. They've won 19 of 25.
Yeah, we need a play-in tournament like they did in NBA. We'd be the Big Ten champs, right?
Right?
We wouldn't be we would bracketology. We'd be a 1 or 2 seed.
And we all would have took it too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it was definitely a great victory. They should celebrate it, and then you got to turn the clock and get right in tune. Probably walk through with Iowa. Iowa's going to be licking their chops trying to have a upset victory against one of the hottest teams in the nation. Nebraska is going to try to, it's always going to be a battle when you go up there. So you got to be ready to play. Dealing with success is I think harder at times than dealing with defeat. So hopefully they take it in stride, but don't minimize it. It's great, and then continue to have it in your back pocket to reach continued success. Now, a couple of cleanup things right here. We're still waiting for you guys to win this $15 gift certificate to Upside Bar and Lounge. Here's the problem with you texters.
See, Jay thinks everybody knows what Jay knows.
No,
listen, Jay's like,
everybody knows it. It
isn't.
When the number is in the article on a network website, it's like failing Greek mythology, and you have the answers to the test. Again, the trivia question is: how many games did Sir Nick Saban win at the University of Alabama? It is not that hard. You get $15 gift certificate that you can use on food, drinks at the Upside Bar and Lounge. It's fight night weekend. You can use it anytime, obviously, but we are definitely pushing people to go out there this weekend. We'll have the next trivia question for Stars tickets. We will give away after this next segment. We got 2 or 3 more minutes left. One thing I wanted you guys to think about as far as Nick Saban goes, and we're going to go heavy into Nick Saban.
We got a winner.
We'd have a winner. Drew. That's finally Drew. That's what I'm talking about, my man. Thank you, Drew. Is 2 things. And I want you guys to think about before we go to break. We'll take an early break. There's a 30-day window for that roster. I would be flying to Tuscaloosa and saying, listen, come one, come all, right? You got a 30-day open window, transfer portal roster or window for everybody on that roster since Nick Saban is retired. That's number 1. Number 2, don't think that there's new NIL regulations that just came out. I don't think that affected Nick Saban, but I do think getting a little worn out with the transfer portal and the NIL, and this is why it's different. I think Nick Saban is fine dealing with the NIL. But if you remember a couple years ago, and I think it was when Texas A&M had that great class, right? That Nick Saban was at his fundraiser, and he was and it was him and the basketball coach there, essentially Oates, imploring their big boosters to donate more money for NIL, and it didn't really work. Now, they were able to take care of Bryce and obviously Will Anderson and the majority of the guys, but not to the tune that they would like to compete with Georgia and his other teams. Don't think that didn't stick in the back of Nick Saban's mind. This was not a national championship team, but it was a national championship type of coaching year for him. That also could be a part of the caveat. And then if he lost faith in the donors, he'd rather move on to other things, bigger and better things. We're going to think about those things, take a quick break, come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, DP, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
It's fishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies to start, then a chance of snow this afternoon. We'll see a high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow early, then nearly clear skies. We'll see a low of around 11. And tomorrow, probably sunny skies to start, then snow likely in the afternoon. Will be windy too. We'll see a high of around 17. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer or you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We are back in full effect here, man. A lot goes on. You know, it makes the hours go by fast, but we're in the middle segment. Gave these guys 2 assignments to ponder on, whether how much activity will be down there in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you've ever been there. That's not actually, it's built up now since Nick Saban's been there. He's probably one of the best investments out there. The enrollment in Alabama is quadrupled since he's been there, and made the school. He probably is underpaid, really, to be honest with you. But I alluded to the 30-day window now when a coach is, I guess, either fired or retired. They have a pretty good roster. They were young this year, which means going through the gauntlet, they either stay or there'll be a lot of teams disappointing some present players and picking up some pretty good players now. And I'm talking about starters. They're not trying to go down there and get those guys. That's number one. I want your guys' thought on that. And number two, I just think the NIL lack of support probably overall to Alabama, because they were used to just winning, just having the best recruiting classes. It changed. And then the transfer portal, which has helped Alabama because they've been able to choose, but they've lost some good players as well. What's your guys' thoughts on those two things?
I want to ask what's the over-under for players in the transfer portal because of this?
From Alabama?
From Alabama. Because the activity, if players are jumping ship, the powers that be have to make decisions to retain players and be able to replace players.
Well, sure. I mean, there's only so much NIL money out there. Okay, that's number one.
But
you're not going to be able to go get, like, Nebraska's not going to go be able to sign 20 Alabama players and just have
but if
Alabama.
they can go get 2, we can have a.
Oh yeah, well then that's more feasible. But
right.
so then,
everybody wants 2 of Alabama's players.
Right, but then, but also those deals are still in place.
Okay.
I think a lot has to do with who is the next coach. The name that is at the forefront, like him, Lomer. I'm not a big fan of the dude, but as Dan Lanning is the guy that's at the forefront. Everybody thinks it's foregone conclusion. Lane Kiffin, he doesn't fit down there. He's right where he needs to be. Trust me, you have to be able to smoosh, and Lane Kiffin can't. I've been knowing Lane since I've been 10 years old. He can't. He has somebody that does it.
He's got game, though.
He's got game, but that ain't going to work. And he don't even got game.
That's why I wanted to. Yeah. I simply said it to get the look on Jay's face.
Oh, Lane, listen, Lane's a good dude. He's pretty smooth, but Alabama's different. You have to be a CEO. You have to be very detailed, and you have to be like Nick, be able to operate like Nick Saban. Dan Lanning can do it.
Who was the coach
Kirby
before,
could do it.
Who was the coach before Saban?
Who cares?
Well, that's kind of.
Was it Mike Price?
Well,
Mike Price didn't make it. He got caught up in San Antonio, or he was down there. He used the company credit card. He got caught at the strip club.
Right.
I think was it one of the Shulas or somebody came back? Somebody came back and did it for you?
It was Joe Kynes took over. It was Mike Shula for 4 years. Mike Price for actually 0 games.
Yeah, it was like 4 months.
Franchione for 2 years before that.
Yeah.
So I asked that question to make this point. we put people. Alabama went through it's not Alabama phase 2. It's not a given that Alabama will be Alabama forward.
No.
Not in this day and age.
They can hire the wrong guy.
Right. They can hire the wrong guy. If they hire the wrong guy, and remember the fan base, especially the ones that took the Nick Saban bait and wrote bigger checks. You expect more. And if you don't deliver, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama without Nick Saban is not Alabama with Nick Saban. So I fully expect that, one, the powers that be have to make a decision on what the personality profile will be for Alabama football.
And I think Nick Saban will help. He's not just going to clean out his office and be like, I'll holla. I mean, he's gonna be involved probably behind the scenes, which is good because he probably wants the best for Alabama. Alabama's benefited tremendously off of Nick Saban being there, and the same with Nick Saban. Yeah. You got to think that here's the difference between Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. I don't even think Nick Saban failed in the league. He wasn't as successful as he was when he left LSU. But how he left Miami when he said, I wasn't going to take the job, which he had to do, and Alabama needed a stable coach. And Nick Saban knew he was going to go back to college for the right situation, but it wasn't a successful pro career. Urban Meyer hasn't had anywhere to go based on how he left Jacksonville. I can guarantee you, when Nick Saban got on that plane and whoever met him there at the tarmac, they did not think 6 national championships were coming. Maybe 1 or 2 because of the depth of that Alabama had to recover from. You got to think, hired Mike Price from UTEP was supposed to be that. Regurgitated Mike Shula, Franchione or whatever his name is. Like, those guys aren't they were just kind of just
we know
just
that,
being there.
We knew that when John McBride leaves Utah, when Ron McBride leaves Utah, and you bring in Urban Meyer, you think it will be different, but you don't think it will be Urban Meyer, the beginning of Urban Meyer steps.
Yeah.
You then replace him and say, we're going to go with Kyle Whittingham. Mm-hmm. You don't know that that's a thing. Now, I'm saying that to say this. If you called me tomorrow and said Kyle Whittingham was on a plane to Tuscaloosa, I'm not surprised by it. Like, I think that's a different direction. This is an opportunity for Alabama.
But what is the advantage of it, though? Because he's towards the end of his career. You're.
What do you want it to be then? Because you need to
Kyle Whittingham, but Alabama and Utah are that's two different atmospheres, dog. I mean, this is. And Kyle Whittingham, if he would have left, he would have been to like USC or something beforehand.
Kyle's the jutted jaw character guy that Alabama needs to hold fort. But
he's on the back 9 at Augusta with like 3. He's in the fairway on number 15, right? You want a guy that's starting to turn it on at like hole 7 at Augusta and birdie's 9.
Alabama is a Lamborghini program. You giving somebody their first Lamborghini?
Well, I mean, they'll bring in Dan Lanning. They'll bring in that dude from Oregon because he has Saban ties. He's already at Georgia. He knows the SEC, and he's young enough.
I mean, because the way they're talking post Tom Osborne bringing in Solich and thinking that it's just going to reprogram, reboot. It's not that simple.
No, it's not. But they're well aware of it. Saban's gonna put his stamp on it.
Okay.
They're gonna want somebody that's younger that can be there because they know Alabama is oddly enough a destination job, and you highly like to have somebody there for quite some time.
Yeah, Texas. I mean, the Whittingham to Bama thing.
It's not happening.
I'm not saying that it happens because too many logical things don't happen in college sports when it comes to hiring people. We all know that. I'm saying as somebody that if you're painting what Alabama is and what Alabama should want to be for the next 3 years, right?
Right.
You need a gatekeeper, right? Nebraska shows you there's that. Michigan went through it. You picked the wrong person. It's a huge, huge left turn. The super program, USC, if you hire wrong, it gets ugly. LSU, if you hire wrong from an elite space, one, you know what? I need a new young dude. No.
Yeah, but Lanning's not thought of as young. He's went up to Oregon and done their thing.
Well,
he has Alabama ties.
Okay.
He has Nick Saban ties.
Okay.
He has Kirby Smart ties, and he has SEC ties.
Yep.
That would be it.
Yeah,
that would be it. Versus
I don't have the answer. Let's be clear.
I mean, Winningham fits the script, but he's about, he's like 2 or 3 movies late.
Yeah, I don't have the answer to what's going to fix and keep Alabama. Remember, because Kirby Smart is your next door neighbor, and he's look, his house.
Somebody said Cliff
right,
Kingsbury. They ain't happening.
Right, well, you've got
the Bachelor is not going.
Yeah, he's looking over the fence, and
he's not a
paying
good
attention.
coach. The Bachelor is not a good coach.
So no. I'm just saying, if you're Alabama and Kirby Smart, if you're anywhere else in the country, you're good. You're probably going to make a decision and not. But Kirby Smart is your neighbor. He is your greatest rival.
That would be getting 2 coaches.
Right.
Essentially, you're taking the best coach in the country from Georgia and gaining him, and he's in the prime of his career.
So then what do you whatever Alabama does has to move up beyond Georgia and Kirby Smart in order for it to be a win. I don't know how they get it right.
Yeah, I mean
that's a lot, man.
They're not going to hire you're not going to hire a better coach than Kirby Smart. There's not a better coach out there. It's just not going to happen. They're going to hire Dan Lanning if he wants to come, because they feel like he can build the program within the next 4 years. And plus, there's 12 teams in the playoffs, so that's a little bit easier getting there. So you can kind of keep yourself afloat for a little while. And
but
then
Texas, Oklahoma coming, so
sure,
mess around.
Right.
And you team number 4 in the SEC, maybe number 5, because LSU is going to bounce. Like, LSU, it's not easy. Florida is
nowhere to be found.
Well, but here's the thing. Who's going without Nick Saban? How much closer is Florida?
Not any close. They are a cesspool athletic department. They are garbage.
Okay.
But with Dan Lanning, he's already shown you can recruit.
That is.
I think we have a lot more data for a decision like this in college basketball than we do college football.
Right. Well, but that's why,
especially recently, right?
But,
you have
right
Carolina and Roy Williams stepping down. You have Coach K at Duke. You have Jay Wright at Villanova.
Yeah.
Boeheim at Syracuse to some degree. Michigan State, I think, is within the next 3 years away from having that same conversation. Kansas is the only one that's safe. UCLA has kind of bounced around the wilderness for a while. Indiana too. But if you look at Carolina, in-house guy. Duke, in-house guy. Nova went with the in-house guy. Maybe should have looked outside of it. Syracuse
went
in-house guy. Jury's still out on that one. I don't know enough about Red Autry. The simple thing to do is keep it in-house, but there's no one in-house right now.
Well, that's the
So
problem.
it's in the family, potentially, but not in the house.
I'm like I said, I don't have the answer. It ain't my job to have the answers. I'm trying to get to the right question. I'm trying to figure out I don't know what Alabama thinks it is and what Alabama wants it to be when.
If the other part of this too is Greg Byrne. Like, I don't think Greg Byrne's a wild card, but does he say this is my moment? Or does he do the search firm thing?
Yeah.
How many stakeholders think they deserve a say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they all
man,
got to say they
do.
just whether they're saying it out in front or behind, it doesn't really matter. I just think that
that's a good question.
Alabama.
That's good.
Why would Dan who?
No, he said,
why would he go to Bama?
No, the one book that is Oregon better is a better job than Alabama now?
No. Alabama's a top 3 or 4 job.
Where's Oregon?
No, it's like 5 to 10. I mean, you get all the stuff. You get all the bells and whistles. It's not any easy. Your path is still hard. The Bama thing is easy because Nick Saban, infrastructure-wise, will be there and it's already set up. Dan Lanning knows how to operate in this type of atmosphere.
Okay.
He's young. He will be around. He can match Kirby's energy. That's what they're going to be looking for. I think that if you're hiring for names now, I mean, 5 years ago, Kyle Whittingham said, this dude's too late now.
Who's the worst big name Bama could hire?
Urban Meyer.
Jimbo?
I'm going to tell you who's going to be there.
Dabo?
Dabo. I'm telling you right now. It's either Dan Lanning or Dabo, and it's going to be Dan Lanning all up in the front. Next thing you know, dude that just got punched in his eye at Dabo.
Can I tell you how much I would love Dabo? And I'm not.
He would love it.
I'm not a Dabo. Like, I'm not a Dabo guy for scheme and otherwise. I'm Dabo. I love Dabo's chaos. Like, and he tries to be conform, but he's walking chaos. And the idea that he's going to walk in and tell all those big check writers in Alabama and all those religious football fans how smart he is and how much he knows more than they do. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm you want to get me excited? Yeah. Tell me Dabo flew to Tuscaloosa.
Dabo's going to be Dabo's agent is calling them right now.
Jay Foreman, we going drinking if Dabo. I ain't had a drink in a minute.
Yeah. I don't really think it's chaos. I think he walked on there. He has family ties there. I think he might even be born and raised in Alabama, I think.
Can you smell that?
What about a bridge guy? Nice mic.
No.
Can you smell
in the family?
That, Jay? Can you smell Dabo in Alabama? Oh.
But he's already said that. He's already said that's his dream job, though.
That is delicious.
But it's not even drama, though. He's already said that's his dream job. Though.
I can't even imagine a dinner tonight more tasty than Dabo going to Alabama. There's nothing you can offer me.
But why though? He's coached there before.
Here's the thing: that dude that coached there,
right, is different.
Is not the same dude.
Right.
And in my time, so my nephew went to Alabama, and he was a mini me. So some of the stories that he would tell about Alabama, the idea that Dabo would walk into that room and think he was king of Alabama.
I don't think he'd do that. He gets away with that at Clemson because if you've been to Clemson, it's just essentially
little old Clemson.
It's like Happy Valley of the South.
Well, it's still tough, bro. It's not.
But it's a different. Clemson and Happy Valley are right on point. When he goes to Alabama, he is going to the place that he's always wanted to be at. He will be humbled, and he will be trying to fall.
He will be humbled. The humbling of Dabo Swinney is primetime television.
I love that you said Happy Valley. James Franklin only got a $6 million buyout. Landing's 20.
Yeah. The James Slick talking ain't gonna work. That worked at Vanderbilt, ain't working.
Yeah, they would chase him. He too light skinned.
It's is Dan Lanning is Dan Lanning or Dabo? That's the two top choices. First of all, you're getting national championship quality coach.
Do you call Kirby and make him say no, or do you just not even make that call?
You make the call just because.
Why?
Why not?
I need to hear you, bro.
Why though? Why? Like what?
Because it tells Georgia that everybody's gettable. That you think everybody's gettable.
Right.
Like you ain't all that. You still Georgia. We Alabama.
Right. But
that's the pitch and sell.
That's not the pitch and sell. Kirby played at Georgia. He played at Georgia.
I know, but if I'm Alabama and I want to,
you might call him, but it's
like,
everybody knows
it's a Alabama's finger, like
Georgia's finger.
Georgia's finger. Like I need, Jake. I need to irritate you enough.
Yeah, but Georgia. It'd be a hollow phone call and it wouldn't even be taken serious.
Okay.
What you're gonna do, because you got to think they're gonna try to do the same thing that Georgia did to get there, even though Alabama's won 6 national championships. Kirby Smart, walk on, backup player. Dabo Swinney, walk on, history with the family, grew up as an Alabama kid. His dream job.
Can we just put them in an octagon and
you
let
just
them
go?
fight it out?
Kirby would destroy.
Two men enter, one man leaves. Like, can we do that? Like, I would pay pay-per-view.
It's not. To be honest with you, Kirby to Alabama. I mean, not Kirby, but Dabo to Alabama is not drama filled. It's not.
I would be.
Dabo to another college is not. Dabo fits down there.
I would so be.
He's going to be right down there with him. He's going to be. That's his deal.
I'm gonna send letters to 3 of the booze check writers from Alabama. Go get Dabo.
Bring him home.
Go.
Dabo's agent is calling right now.
Right?
He's trying
this is it. Like this is Saban going to the NFL. I literally he walked in. I'm Nick freaking Saban, and they were like, "Bro, no, you're not. No, you're not. Go somewhere else with that because it's not here. Lou Holtz going to the Jets. Go take your lick." Perkins, go take yours. That Alabama deal is a different monster. And
I know, but it's Alabama needs a top-notch coach.
Yes.
And Kirby needs a new place. Not because he's not successful. He needs a new place. It's just like Nick Saban, and it's just like Alabama. It's essentially repeat. Kirby needs Alabama. And Alabama needs a Kirby. And he's young enough to kind of have this stability there for quite some time.
Oh, bro, I need this for me. I'm serious. I'm just gonna chew on that for the next 12 hours.
It's not gonna happen.
Look, you know, Captain Chaos. Every now and then,
I just wonder how much Kirby Smart's buyout is. Anyways, here's a trivia. here's a trivia question here before we got to get it. How many NFL victories does Pete Carroll have? It's a pretty even number. It should be pretty easy, and that will win you Stars tickets to win, Austin.
We have vouchers. So any game you're choosing by what, mid-April?
Yeah.
Pick the game.
How many games has Pete Carroll won as a NFL head coach? Mind you, he was not just the coach of the Seahawks. He was the head coach at the Patriots.
And I got a story for you.
There
when
you
we
go.
Come back. I got a story for you.
We're going
too.
to break. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals. Located in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
It's phishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends. Right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies to start, then a chance of snow this afternoon. We'll see a high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow early, then nearly clear skies to see a low of around 11. And tomorrow, probably sunny skies to start, then snow likely in the afternoon. Will be windy too. We'll see a high of around 17. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin DP, old school. Plenty of news today.
We got some more news.
Yeah, what is that?
We got some more news. So direct from Mark Manning, head wrestling coach at Nebraska, and again on a big week. Number 2, Iowa. Number 2 in the country, Iowa, against number 4, Nebraska. Pinnacle Bank Arena. Adult seats are $10. Seniors and young folks, $8. Under age 6, I believe it's $1. Right? So make your plans. Like, this is pack Devaney, get after it, because this is, and let me go through what Mark Manning just said. Mark Manning said, tell these folks to go to Huskers.com and get their tickets, because at heavyweight for the Huskers, the Polar Bear, Nash Hutmaker will be, look, he's going to wrestle Friday night, and it's big because he's facing Bradley Hill. Now, let me go through Nebraska's lineup and Iowa's, because, Jay, this is like the gauntlet. The Big Ten is like the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
Never an easy.
No night off.
Right? So if you add up the every weight class for Iowa, they have lost a combined 15 matches all year. Of the 15 meets, they've lost 15 matches.
Yeah.
Combined. Now,
don't be that guy.
Right? Right. And you got to go, you got some explaining to do. But here's where the Huskers are. So Caleb Smith is top 10 in the country at 14-2. Right? Let's do it. Jacob Van D is a rock star growing. Brock Hardy, number 7 in the country. Ridge Lovett, number 1 in the country. Peyton Robb, number 3 in the country. Antrell Taylor in the top 20. Bubba Wilson in the top 30. Lenny Pinto at number 3, Silas Allred at number 11, and then Nash Hutmaker as your heavyweight. Now, on most days, that looks like, hey, let's go in here and party. Iowa, their 125 is 13-1, ranked number 5. 133, lost twice, number 7 in the country. 141, undefeated, number 1 in the country. 149, 1 loss. 157, no losses. 165, 1 loss. Now, those are number 2 in the country, number 7 in the country. Then there's a little window where you look like in the back 4, you can do some damage if you're Nebraska. You need your stars who are going to be competing at a like level. It's elite Big Ten championship caliber wrestling at every match. This is what the Big Ten tournament is going to look like. Is Nebraska and Iowa in the top 4 in most weight classes, just getting after it. And then the added value that if this, depending on where they start, Saturday they said, let Hutmaker bring it home. And he brought it home. He brought it home. It was rock star status. Listen, number 4 versus number 2. And if you thought there was a party at PBA beating Purdue in basketball, if you beat Iowa in wrestling at home Friday night,
storm the mat.
Oh my goodness, storm the mat and let's go. And this is where, like, everybody, like all you former wrestlers and weightlifters out there, you farmers, just imagine that you may have to try to lift all 285 pounds of Nash Hutmaker on your shoulder.
Bubba, I think you won, man. Congrats, Bubba. You won the Pete Carroll Stars ticket. You got the voucher. Any game.
There you go.
Good job, Bubba.
Come
Bubba,
get 'em.
yeah,
Hey,
efficient.
Jay, if you go on Friday, I need for you to stretch them hamstrings before.
I'll get out there. I don't want to get trampled.
Do a lat pull, right, to get stretch it out.
Yeah. It'd be good. I think it's going to be good. I think Nash is going to step up, man. I think he's a straight competitor. And I think that it's prime for Nebraska to beat Iowa. So anytime you can beat this team from the Stinky City, it's all good. Anyways, good show. A lot going on for Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow. Jay Foreman, DP. We are out.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends. Right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan.